Revenge films.
I live with my husband, and I'm finally opening a Japanese restaurant of my own. It's been my dream since I was in college. I learned cooking at different places, saved money from since I was single, and I was finally able to open my own shop after 6 years, so I was very excited. Fortunately, the customers visiting my restaurant are loving my cooking, and everyone from families to the elderlies are visiting. I guess the Japanese cuisine matched the taste buds of the people. One day, my mother-in-law, who lived nearby, visited my restaurant. She had invited 2 of her friends.
"You should have told me if you opened your own restaurant. It took me forever to visit."
That's what she said. I thought she was here to greet her daughter-in-law and to dine here at the same time, but after ordering a lot of food and talking in a loud voice with her friends,
"I'll come again." "Are you sure she's going to pay for us?" "Yep, it's my daughter-in-law's restaurant. We don't need to pay."
Like that, she left without paying for her meal and her friends' meals. It's true that I'm her daughter-in-law, and it might make sense if she was on her own, but I was shocked to see her unwilling to pay after ordering so many dishes with her friends. I thought she'd rarely visit, but since that day, my mother-in-law started visiting nearly every day, and she didn't come alone. She would at least come with 2 or 3 of her friends, and she would be with 5 at maximum, and she orders all kinds of dishes, orders a variety of drinks, eats and drinks as much as she wanted.
"I'll come again."
Then she would leave without paying for anything. I knew this was bad, so I talked to my husband about it. I told him that his mother visited nearly every day and that she would leave without paying for anything after ordering a lot. Plus, her manners were awful, too. The sitting area was always a mess that it would make me think a child ate there, but my husband said,
"It's just that my parents are visiting to eat. What's the problem?"
He didn't listen to me at all, and he never bothered to complain to his mother. While all of that happened, my mother-in-law was still visiting my restaurant to dine and dash. But one day, the 3 of her friends visited without her. I thought they personally visited because they liked my restaurant, but they tried to leave once they enjoyed their meal as usual, so I stopped them, feeling shocked. You haven't paid for your bills yet." Then her friend said something unbelievable in response.
"Huh? Your mother told us that we'll be able to eat for free because it was her daughter-in-law's restaurant. That's why we're here."
Huh? It turns out that despite not being the owner or anything, my mother-in-law was telling everyone without my permission that they can eat for free at my restaurant. So her friends came to eat here thinking that was true. They didn't have enough money to pay for their meals, and they told me to complain to my mother-in-law directly if I had something I want to say. I couldn't call the police on my mother-in-law's friends, so I had them go home for the time being and quickly contacted my mother-in-law. Then she said, "Your restaurant is basically my restaurant, so it's natural that you let my friends eat there for free." I was shocked. That didn't make any sense. "This is my restaurant. I am happy to serve you at my restaurant as a customer, but I don't have the obligation to let your friends who I don't even know to eat for free."
"What a rude kid you are. I'm going to tell my son about it."
Like that, she hung up on me. If this goes on, the restaurant I opened after working hard for 6 years would have to close down because of my mother-in-law. I knew I had to do something before that actually happens, so I told my husband, who came home from work, that I had something serious to talk about. I told him that his mother's friends visited, demanding me to let them eat for free, and what his mother said to me on the call so that he can do something about it. Then my husband seemed so tired to deal with all of this.
"My mom actually complained to me about it, too. She'll feel good if you just allow her to do that. Let her do what she wants."
I can't do that. Do you know how many people she brings to the restaurant? Don't take advantage of my restaurant just to let your mother brag about it. No matter how hard I tried to persuade him, he told me to leave him out of this, looking tired. I've been holding in my frustration because she was his mother, but this was too much, and my love for him disappeared. My husband was trying to run away from facing this problem, but he was basically on his mother's side, and he never plans to help me out. I thought that my mother-in-law would ruin my career if I didn't do anything. I didn't want that to happen, so I made my decision. A week later, my mother-in-law suddenly visited when I was at my restaurant. I saw more than 10 of her friends behind her. She told me she'll use the usual dining area in the back and called the staff over to order all kinds of dishes looking bossy. Not only did they order a lot of food, they kept on getting refills of the drinks and even ordered desserts, including red bean soup. After eating and drinking as much as they wanted for 3 hours, they came out of the dining area in the back one after another, and she tried to leave too, saying she'll come again. You can't. You haven't paid for the bills yet. My mother-in-law scoffed and said that this restaurant was basically hers, so that she shouldn't have to pay, which is what she told me the other day. So I replied, "No, you have to pay. We're strangers now." When I said that, I filled her in that I left our house a few days ago and that I got a divorce with my husband. Then she went pale and exclaimed, "Huh?" That day, when my husband and I had a discussion, my love for him faded, and I decided to get a divorce because I knew that, or else I'd lose my restaurant. He was surprised when I got us the divorce papers, but I had my parents visit our house and they demanded that I didn't need a husband who couldn't protect me and allows people to do whatever they wanted at my restaurant, and they made him sign the divorce papers. My mother-in-law always made an excuse, saying that I was her daughter-in-law, but now that I got a divorce, we were becoming strangers and things won't work the same way, so she seemed panicked. Please pay the bills for you and your friends, and also for your friends who visited without you. The total comes to $300K.
Wait a minute. If there's anything you dislike about my son, I'll tell him to fix it. Give it another thought about getting a divorce.
After I demanded her to pay, she pleaded with me to get back together with him, but the problem was her, so it was impossible to reconsider about my divorce even after 100 years. So I ignored her requests and threatened her that I'll call the police on her if she doesn't pay. And I bet her friends sensed that something was wrong, so they quickly went home, saying that they were just here because she invited them. When I told her that I'll rely on the police or lawyer to settle things if she doesn't pay, she slouched her shoulders helplessly. After that, to repay me the $300K of eating and drinking as much as they wanted, she started working at the convenience store and as a janitor day and night. I heard that she begged her son to help.
I had to get a divorce because of you, Mom! Don't you ever show me your face again!
And it seemed like he's also completely ignoring her. My husband never thought I'd divorce him, so he desperately apologized to me, but I can't waste the rest of my life staying with a husband who isn't on my side. It really serves him right, so I'm actually happy they ended up like this. Now that my mother-in-law and her friends weren't visiting, things at my restaurant settled down, and many customers visit us every day as always. My unreliable husband is gone now, so I hope I can go on with my life working hard at my restaurant that I always dreamed of owning.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.